I hate like the technique, the do this thing and you'll feel a little better for a little while. I want to figure out why you didn't feel better for a little while for the last 25 years. And any technique you've tried hasn't really dented it. I want to know what that source is, because that source is what you're after. Permanent change comes when you realize that there's this part of you that's just happy, just always happy, and so today's talk is on the 4 secrets to really having a happy life, to really being happy. What are the 4 secrets to happiness? And of course, the number 1 secret to happiness is that the thing that makes you the most happy is being happy. So it's like, okay, so if you're not happy, then what do? So everybody knows you're supposed to be happy, and everybody wants to be happy, and more than anything else, people want to. I mean, even more than people say, well, love is the thing I want the most, and it's really. But love makes for the 5 profiles, right? At the Reese Thomas Institute, we teach the 5 kinds of people, and for some people, happiness is a great idea, like I'm doing right here. For some people, happiness is love. It's just like it's how you give and share love. And for other people, happiness is just other people. It's like, I love people. Come on, let's play. And for other people, happiness is mastery and finding and disciplining and becoming really, really good and really knowledgeable about something. And for other people, happiness is just winning. It's just like, I win. And it doesn't matter what they win. It doesn't have to be competition or anything. It's just sort of like a sense of, oh yeah, I'm on top of the world. I got this going. So there's that sense of winning, so happiness is something that's unique to each of the profiles, but more importantly, happiness is really something that is innate within the soul. The soul itself is happy. And some people say, well, I've got an old soul. That's why I'm the way I am. And old souls are happier than young souls. Young souls come to earth and they're like, I don't want to do this. So the complainers in the world are the young souls. Anybody who complains at all is total beginner soul. The ones who are have got sort of, they have their own physical ailments and they're still committing to helping hundreds of other people do things. They're working in the soup kitchens. They're doing these sort of things. These are the old souls. Those are the old souls. The new souls are making huge money and have everything, and they're still complaining about it. Those are like brand new souls. So, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. What I want to talk about today are some of the slides, and of course, in a PowerPoint presentation, invariably to get it down to basically there's only so much you can do, and really we did a full day and a half. You have to lose a lot of stuff. So there's tons of stuff that we didn't get to, the sort of the stuff on the cutting room floor, so to speak. And one of them was this little slide that I did on the 4 secrets to a happy life. So the 4 secrets to a happy life are very simple. The first and most important one is you cannot be anything you want. You can only be one thing. Spend your life discovering it, and it's the best energy you can spend. So what is that thing, and why? What do you mean you can only become one thing? You can only become one thing. Your life has been a series of trying to figure out who you are, and a level of disappointment that drove you to find out more about who you are, right? Okay, and so the truth is that if you really realize that you're just this one quality, this quality that you had as a child, your choices would be very obvious. But because we're taught, the biggest lie in the world is that we're taught that we can become anything you want to become. Oh, honey, you can become anything you want to become. And your parents are only ever telling you that when you're doing something they don't want you to do, which is being you, right? So you're being you, blah, 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 you're doing your you thing, and your parents are like, oh, honey, you can become anything, super, super good. You can really do it. You try anything. And of course, they're teaching you that who you are is not good enough. and then you believe that you're not good enough, and then you go out and try to be this and try to be that and try to be this and try to be that. Nothing works because you're only one thing. And those things can't actually teach you what that thing is. Had we been taught correctly, had we had conscious parents, our parents would have said, we have no idea what you are, who you are, what language you're going to speak, or what religion you're going to be, or whether you're going to be a boy or a girl. We no idea. You started out a boy or started out a girl, it's totally fine, but that's up to you. We are going to help you investigate what your true, real self is in the world. And if they did that, you'd probably be enlightened by the time you were in your 30s. But, you know, right now we were taught that we should become anything else. Anything you want to become, and that's not true. You've only ever been able to be one thing. There's only one thing that makes you happy, being you. And it really makes you happy. And so being happy, and by the way, the you is really happy. So if you're not happy at any point, at any time, in any part of your life, you're not being you. Simple, right? So you get this? When you're you, you're happy. And that's the only thing we train at the Rhys Thomas Institute. Because the rest of the stuff is just a waste of breath. Why am I working on my business when I have no freaking idea who I am, right? Why would I work on my relationship if I don't even know whether I'm bringing a lie to the relationship? You know, if I'm bringing a fake person in that relationship, how could that ever work, right? Because I'm not happy being that person. I'm trying to be the right person, trying to be the good person. How could that ever work? It can't ever work. It can't ever make you happy. Okay, so you got to figure out the one thing you are, and if you can't figure out what the one thing you are, you can sign up for the Rhys Thomas Institute by going to RhysThomasInstitute.com, www.RhysThomasInstitute.com. So I guess that goes along with the second one, which is the second piece of being happy. The 4 secrets of happiness. Invest in yourself and your experiences first. Your happiness is your only good investment. So this is really important to get. So many people, it's like, what is it? What is like 99 out of 100 people are more invested in saving a little money and putting it in the bank and doing this and protecting what they have and putting everything they have. I mean, it's like, I talk to parents, I talk to adults who are literally spending 90% of their money on their children, on their this, on that, on their, or putting it into and saving it, or their investments and things like, and they are not happy at all. It's like, if you aren't taking, let's just say, like tithing, let's say if you're not spending at least 10% of your income on your happiness, you're not going to be happy. So this is the secret of happiness. Secret of happiness is, if you don't invest in something and experiences, because the only thing that makes you happy are experiences. Thoughts never have made you happy. Anything you come up with in your head, like, I got this, it's never made you happy, right? Just thinking, so it's the experiences. If the thinking leads to going and doing an experience, like coming to the school and doing this work, so that's a perfect example of how to invest in yourself. So do you invest in things that you have no idea what they're going to do, but you know that they're going to give you an experience that will give you more energy, more clarity of who you are, right? More courage to stand up and do these things. And when you're doing those sort of things, who do you think's happy? You, because you're being you. You're not being someone else. You're not trying to be something. You are. Okay? So that's number 2, right? So first one is, you can only be one thing. It's really important to get. You've never been anything other than one thing. There's only one of you, and that's it. That's it. Nothing else. Figure out who that person is. Stop trying to be what somebody else wants you to be. 2, take at least 10%, I would suggest 20% of your money, and put it into your happiness. For God's sake, where are you going? What are you going to do with that money later on? This is the time. If you're in your 50s, do you think you're going to be happier in your 70s, trying to be happy? Now's the time. If you're in your 40s, this is the time to be happy. Invest in yourself, okay? It doesn't matter whether it's my program or something. Do anything other than sit around and collect things and give all the money to everybody else. Give it to yourself, and then it gets down to the third one. The third one is actually never use an excuse to betray yourself. So like for instance, we did a little exercise this weekend where we asked people, what do you really want, and what are the things that you do to sabotage that, to keep you from getting it? Because if you really want it, you've not just wanted it today. It didn't just go, oh, gee, I think I'll want that. You've wanted it for years, and the fact that you haven't gotten it, you haven't achieved it, you haven't had that happiness in your life, means that you've got things that you do consistently that say, right? But you don't say that. You say, I really, 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 really want it, but then you don't do anything to get it, or you do things to get it that sabotage actually getting it, right? You overdo work, you underwork, you go to the wrong people, you don't invest in your own happiness, you don't bring enough energy to the work, or you don't bring the right person. You don't know the one person you're supposed to be, right? So the key with events is you need to be able to say, never use an excuse. From now on, if you want to be a spiritual person, never use an excuse again. That's the key to happiness. Key to happiness is, I want to do it, or I don't want to do it. If you say, oh, I'd really like to, but yeah, I got this thing over here, right? That's a lie. I didn't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I want to do that. I don't want to do that. Done. Now you're living in conscious truth. Now it may take a minute. It's like someone says, hey, you want to, if I gave you, free tickets to fly to Japan, would you go? Well, you might have to sit and think for a minute, but don't use some excuse. Oh God, I got my kid's soccer game on Saturday. I can't go to Japan. I can't, what would my boss say if I took a few days off and went to Japan and had fun? What would that be like? Well, any excuse. No, I don't want it, or yes, I do. That'll solve almost all of your hemming and hawing and complaining and wondering why you haven't lived your life, because you've chosen your life. Okay? When you say no, it means no. And when you really, really want something, some people, I could tell they really, really wanted to come to the Reese Thomas Institute, but they were like, well, but what would my spouse say? And my kids are doing this, and I've got that, and it's maybe tough, maybe later, and it's how many other things do you do like that? How many relationships have you not been in? How many jobs did you not take? How many, what else is, how many times have you not taking care of your health because, well, I'll just eat that, banana split today because, well, I haven't had one in a week. Whatever it is, no excuses. Yes or no. That's really important. Okay. And then the final one, fourth one is do everything you can to build a healthy environment around you. And a healthy environment means people that love you. People that love you. Oh, who's you? The one thing. And if you don't know how to tell them who the one thing is, they can't love you, right? Healthy environment is people around you who see this wonderful person that you are and support that and the things you want to do, right? Okay. And, if you say, I want to invest in myself, you're going to be surrounded by people like, hell, I want to invest, let's do that too. You invest in that, I'll invest in me. We'll both, we'll do this together. So they will support you investing in yourself. How many of the people around you tell you, don't be spending that money on you. Spend it on me. Spend it on the kids. Spend it on anybody but you, because that's selfish, right? Those are the people you need to say, goodbye, bye-bye. Don't need you in my life. I don't need anybody that tells me things that doesn't support me in being the best person I can be, right? Because the last piece of this, those are the four, okay? Those are the four that you've got to get those to be happy. If you aren't surrounding yourself with people that are positively wanting you to succeed or be better, then what are you doing? Okay. So finally, the key is, the last piece of this is that there are no victimless crimes against the self. So this is really important. There are no victimless crimes against the self. When you decide to play small, so you had this opportunity to do something, you're given a great opportunity, and you said, no, not this year, like you did the last year, and the year before, and in the year before, oh yeah, for the last 10 years, that's what you've been doing. And and you do that. But what I want you to get is people say, no, it's just me. I'm only hurting myself, right? Okay, so I play small. How do my kids look? How does that work on my kids? I'm telling my kids, when you really want something, don't do it. When you really, really are called to something, don't do it. No, don't do it. It's really okay not to do it because it's only against yourself. Really? So you're modeling for your children. What about your spouse? Your spouse, you say, well, I'd really like to do things, but no, I won't do it. So now when they try to go do things, you're like, whoa, we don't do that in this family. You certainly aren't going to let them go do more than you do, right? Without resentment, without anger. So when you play small, when you don't go after your life, when you complain, rather than saying, I'm in or I'm out. And when you're out, it's not like I'm against you. It's like I'm for this over here. I'm not for that. I'm for this over here, right? So there are no victimless crimes when you play small, right? Okay, so you're not doing what you're born to do. And and I know that some things cost money, but everything I've ever done in my life that I've really known I've had to do, and I said, I'm going to do it, not knowing how I'm going to come up with that money or having only saved half of it or only done, it's like, once you start doing it, it's like, then it's like, okay, your whole energy field says, oh yeah, this is my purpose. Then I'm going to go out and work more, do more. So many people are like, I'll just be like praying to whoever, whatever deity you think is going to drop money in your lap. And it is true that you can create things, but sometimes you've got to go out and actually do it. Okay, so the key to happiness is, one, take total responsibility for your life, because there are no victimless crimes. And if you are not being and standing up and being willing to be everything you can possibly be, you're hurting everybody you know, because there isn't one person that comes to you in your life that doesn't want you to be the best you can possibly be. Because when you're who you truly are, when you're that's why they were drawn to you. The law of attraction never stops working. You just get attracted to these people that haven't fully understood their power, and then they tell you, well, you shouldn't have yours either. But when you're attracted to somebody that has this kind of power, it does the same thing for you. It wakens you up.